Hello, welcome back to season 2 of Socially Unapologetic. I am so excited to be doing another season. When I first started this podcast, I did not think that I would make it through season 1. So I'm really glad that you guys are listening and following me along on this journey. I have a lot of amazing entrepreneurs set up for this season, and I'm really excited for you to hear their stories and their ups, their downs, the good, the bad, the ugly with entrepreneurship. I want to dive all into it and be really authentic and raw and real with you guys. If there's anything that you ever want me to cover, just feel free to send me a message on Instagram. But I'm so excited to be bringing you season 2.
Hello, welcome back to Socially Unapologetic. We have episode 2 of season 2 here with Sandra Couto, the owner of Hairluxe and a Redken Canadian Artist. I'm so excited to have Sandra on today. So fun. So, Sandra, all of my podcasts start with a 2 truths and 1 lie. I like to do this because it gets like the audience to kind of get to know some random facts about you. And then as we chat and as we go through the podcast, they will be able to guess at the end which one they think is right. And then I will guess as well. So give us 2 truths and 1 lie.
Okay. Firstly, I slept in while I was supposed to be doing a bride and her bridal party and wasn't able to get their hair done. I am tomato juice obsessed, and I've made someone's hair turn green.
Okay, I like those. Those are good. We will remember those for the end of the podcast, and then we'll come back and circle back to it and get what the 2 truths and 1 lie is.
Okay.
I want to start with taking us back. What inspired you to get into hairstyling over 15 years ago?
So it all started when I decided to take kitchen scissors and I gave the neighborhood kids haircuts, and all the moms lined up and were knocking on my mom's door and asking what I've done. And since then, it's just been a whirlwind. I was just really intrigued by my mom's hair transformations. She would take me to the salon with her whenever she would get her hair done. And I always said, I want to do this. Like, it's artistry, it's something amazing. And then I went to high school and there was a cosmetology class. I was like, you know what? Let's try it out. Let's see. Because I initially wanted to be in forensics. That was like my goal. As
Okay.
a child, you know, how everyone has like a dream of what you want to be when you grow up. I wanted to be in forensics. I wanted to be a detective. And so I ended up taking cosmetology class, and within the first week of Cosmo class in grade 10, I got a job at a salon, and I have never done anything ever since.
Okay, I
So
love that.
it all started off as a child. I was like hyper active. I had a lot of energy. I was very artistic. And I feel like I found a career that really allowed me to be the person I am, like not change who I am as a person and still do things I love and still be talkative and still be energetic and positive. So that's how my whole journey of being a hair artist started. And then, yeah, all these years later, got a flagship store, which is incredible, and have an amazing team. And I work for Redken. So it all kind of fell into place all at the right time.
I love that. And what did like the early stages of the hair industry look like for you?
So I feel like everyone has such a different story, and mine is a little bit complex because I was still in high school and I was hired um as just an assistant, and the owner was like, "Hey, do you know how to do hair?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Okay, great. So here, do this, and you have to do it in like the nick of time." I mean, like we were working like on it was like Speedy Gonzalez pace. It was crazy. And that's how it all began. That was the beginning of time. So I was able to actually get involved in hair and do colors and services right when I started, where I know some other stylist journeys is a little bit slower and they kind of take a little bit longer, but I was lucky enough that I was able to like get into it real quick, and I'm also a go-getter. I don't know how to just like sit back and let things go. Like I want things and I want them now. So that high-paced salon was a perfect establishment for me at the time because it also like molded me into the artist I am today in terms of speed and understanding.
Hmm. When did you realize you were ready to like go on your own and open up Hairluxe Co?
Oh, I actually, long story short, I never wanted to open a hair salon.
Okay.
That was never in my books. I know, right? Shocking. You know why? Because I was in it for so long and I've worked in so many different salons where it was just toxic or it was uncomfortable or there's just like fa situations where it really got involved with your family or personal life. And I just was so taken back by the environment, and I said, you know what, I don't ever want this, like I don't want to be around this, and that's why I became independent for 9 years. And then I eventually was able to, I don't know, really get out there and see that, you know what, maybe if you open a hair salon, maybe you can really change the dynamic and change the salon culture, even if it's just for a handful of stylists. That was my goal. So some fire, some spark just kind of lit in me, and I was like, you know what? No, you have there's a purpose for you. You have your purpose. Go open that salon, change the dynamic, make a comfortable establishment for other artists, and just do it. So I never wanted to open a hair salon, but here we are today.
Here you are, changing the narrative for yourself.
Exactly. And other artists, right? It's not just me.
Hmm.
I'm established. I'm well. I do well. I have a clientele. I'm obviously an educator, but it's the ones under you, right? It's that mentorship. And I've had such great mentors throughout my journey that I feel like I have to pay it forward.
Hmm. I love that. You are a Redken artist and educator. What does that role mean to you, and how do you think it's like helped elevate your career now?
Yeah, so Redken has been such an incredible addition to my career. Being a Redken artist allows me to share my passion, my techniques, with like-minded artists or who with artists who aspire to be like me or even better. So having that role is almost bittersweet because I never thought I'd be in a position where people are looking up to me or like wanting to know my tips and my tricks or how I create hair. So that role is so important because I feel that I'm able to share all my knowledge and my passion. I'm so passionate. Like when it comes to the beauty world, and it's something that I've done my almost my entire life, there's so much passion behind it. It's not just a career. So having Redken be supportive and give me that platform to go and share that passion is really important.
I love that. I love how passionate you are. You can just like tell. And I've like had the honor to like see Sandra working in her environment, and it's so inspiring. She's always just so happy and like loves your job.
Aw, thanks. Yeah, Brooke's awesome. She was such a great addition.
What, I guess this kind of leads me to the next question of like, what are you most proud of when you look at your journey so far in the industry?
Okay, so it kind of just happened. So the one thing I'm most proud of is my kids seeing the dedication and the passion and my drive and how hard I work. My son wrote me a Mother's Day card. Sorry, I have tears in my eyes because and he wrote like, I'm so proud of you and how you've come along so much and how Hairlux has grown, and I inspire to be like someone like you, and you're such a great mom and a great boss. I like that. For me was a moment where I was like, I think I'm doing something right.
I love that. That's
So
so cute.
I know. Oh, he makes me cry all the time. I told him, gotta stop writing me letters. Like I can't do
That's
this.
that's so cute. I love that. And then what, like that's obviously such a high. So what has been one of like the hardest moments or seasons in your career so far?
There's always hard seasons. And I think being a salon owner or being an entrepreneur itself it's a difficult task. It's not for everyone. It's not for the faint. I still struggle on a daily basis. There's times where I'm like, that's it. I give it. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm done. Who wants the salon? It's yours. Like, there's, and it's because you're trying to juggle your private life. I'm trying to juggle being a mom and being a wife and being a business owner, and I take my job so passionately, and it's so important to me, and I want to be there for my team. So I feel like trying to find the balance. Everyone always says, "Oh, you need balance." there's no balance. No matter how hard you try, no matter how, well you're scheduled, and you know there's always guilt that kicks in, whether it's within your business or for your family or for your children or for your personal life. So I feel like that's been the most challenging. However, I have such a great support system. My husband, he's a part of the salon family and the salon team, and he's been a support from the beginning. So I have to give him credit. I, I, I have to give him credit because he does step up, whether it's, doing things for the kids or helping me behind, the numbers with the salon. He really, if it wasn't for him, I don't know if it'd be possible.
Yeah, I like that you say that because I think that when you said like entrepreneurship isn't for everybody, like that's the whole point of my podcast is so people can hear different journeys and different stories of entrepreneurs and like what they deal with. And I think it's so important to always state that like it is not easy. Every single day you wake up, there's always something else. There's always like, yes, it's really like gratifying and there's so many positives, but there's also so many downs. So I like when people touch on that aspect of like it isn't for everybody. It's not just like this easy industry you walk into and you're like, okay, I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
No, not at all. And let me tell you, there's things that come up and you're like, oh my gosh, I never thought I'd ever have to deal with something like this.
Yeah.
Right? There's moments when you're like, are you for real? Like, am I dreaming? Can I hide under a rock yet? Like,
Yeah. Can I just run away?
yeah. I also grew up with business owners, right? Like in my family, it was a lot of business owners. My godfather, he has a very established business here in the GTA, and I always looked up to him. And I know I'm in the beauty world and he's in aviation, so it's a totally different world, but I always looked up to him, and I think seeing, the challenges he had, and seeing the ups and the downs, and how he's still been able to establish himself till today. It's been over 30 years, right? To me, that it's such an inspiration. So I always say, like, he's my biggest inspiration. I aspire to be like him, maybe better, but
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
So being around family members that have businesses, and some thrived, some didn't. I've seen some, people lose their businesses, and I've seen people really expand their businesses. So I think being around it and seeing the challenges, it almost prepares you as well for you to
Hmm.
see the good and the bad. And if you're
Yes.
willing to take on those roles.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really important. As somebody in the beauty industry and as an entrepreneur, how do you like handle the pressure to always like be on or always like, especially in the beauty industry, like to always like show up and have your hair done or like whatever that may be? How do you handle that?
Oh, that's a great question. So I don't know. I think I'm like numb at this point. I'm like, okay, put on makeup. Okay, get your hair done. I think because I'm with Redken, and I create a lot of content, I always have to be present. I always have to be ready. Even when I travel with them, I was in Vegas, my whole demeanor was Sandra, hair artist, business owner. Like, it wasn't Sandra's on vacation. So I think it's a mindset. I think
Hmm.
when I wake up and I have my schedule for the day, I'm already in my mindset, and I'm already preparing what I'm wearing, how my hair has to be done, how my makeup needs to be done. To be honest, you probably will never see me without my hair and makeup done at all. And that's because we live in a time and generation where we're on socials all the time, and also I'm representing a brand. And I've worked so hard for this brand. I literally brought this brand from nothing, from a basement salon to where it is
Hmm.
today. So for me, because I've worked so hard to get to where I am today, I want to make sure that I look the part, I dress the part, I speak the part, and it's a whole mindset. And
Hmm.
that's why I think it's important too, as the business owners, to find that time, even if it's for like a day, to disconnect. Don't do your hair, don't do your makeup, because we're surrounded by beautiful people. Like, I'm on social media and I'm swiping, I'm like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Oh my God, her hair looks so good. Oh my God, look at that outfit. And that's exactly what it is. You have to show up like that. So that's my answer for that question, is literally it's just my mindset. I'm just It's my role. I know what I got to do. I know it's challenging. I know we all want to look a certain way. And you just got to be present and say, okay, this is a part of my job. Hair, makeup, nails, outfit on, and let's go.
I love that. I love that question. That kind of leads me into my next one of like, what does burnout look like in your industry, and like how have you experienced it?
Yeah, and I could, you know what? It's such a common thing, and I feel like it just should be normalized. I feel like
Yeah.
there's burnout in every industry. It's not
Yeah.
just hair, and that's just when you're taking on a lot, and when you are continuously saying yes, and when you're trying to grow, and when you're trying to make a presence for yourself, right? I have burnout all the time. I could tell you how to burn out last week. I literally looked at my husband and my kids. I'm like, I'm done, finished. Like, you just, it's at a cap. But I think the passion behind what I do and the impact that I have and the fact that I just love creating, it almost overtakes that feeling of a burnout. I give myself a couple days. I do what I need to do. I spend time with my kids. I'll read a book and I'm just back right on. It's just
Hmm.
something in my mind that I get a quick reset, or I know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. The next 2 months for me is insane. And I know I'm probably gonna have a couple burnout moments, but I just know once the kids are done school and I can maybe get a vacation in, I'm like, okay, perfect. So worth it.
It's
Right?
almost
So
like looking at the next step. You're like, okay, I know this is going to be busy, but like, what can I look forward to?
exactly. And it's normal. Burnout is normal. I feel like there's a lot of mental health things that come around, but you have to be strong. And when you're motivated and dedicated, it almost takes over all the negative and the mental health aspects, right? Like, I don't have time to have meltdowns. I don't have time to break down. There's no time. There's no
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
you just gotta find the positive. And if you know me well, Brooke,
Yeah.
things can crumple in front of me. I've had situations at the salon where you literally just want to crumple and like hide in a corner. You got to stay positive. There's a positive behind the negative. Plug
Hmm.
through. And that's what burnouts are. Burnouts are there to test you, right?
Hmm.
And if you can plug through the burnout and say, you know what? No, this is where I want to go. This is what I need to do. Your positivity and your determination and drive will actually outshine the burnout.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it's important to note too that like when you're passionate and when you love what you do every single day, the burnout is not as severe, if that makes sense. Like you're just like, okay, but I love what I'm doing. Versus like somebody
Exactly.
in a job that they don't love, the burnout hits so much harder because you're like, I hate my job, I hate what I'm doing. The burnout's hitting me, and now you're just like in this negative bubble. But for like business owners, we're so passionate every single day about what we're doing. It's like, yeah, burnout happens. Okay, I'm going to dwell on it for a bit, and then I'm just going to pick myself back up because I love what I'm doing. I wake up happy. I wake up like fulfilled almost, even though you feel that burnout deep inside. You're like, okay, but I just got to keep going because I'm building my empire that I've dreamt
Totally.
of.
Exactly. Exactly what you said.
The beauty industry is competitive, obviously. How have you dealt with gatekeeping, criticism, imposter syndrome, all of these fun words that we see all the time? How have you either experienced it or how have you dealt with it?
So, this is my approach when it comes to that. I don't look at other artists, other salon owner, other business owners as competition. I always look at them as collaborators. So either
Mm-hmm.
you want to collaborate with me and have a great relationship and a dynamic, which I do actually, believe it or not, I have great relationships with a lot of and salon owners across the GTA and even in the States. And then I don't have some with others, which, listen, I'm completely fine with. So I'm not intimidated. I never have been. I know what I offer to the table. I know who I am as an artist. I know who I am as a business owner. So I don't mind sharing. So there's no gatekeeping here. That's why I'm an educator. I have so much to share. And at the end of the day, I'm Sandra Couto Hair, right? So I offer a certain style, a certain look, a certain personality. There's no one else like me out there, right? There's only
Mm-hmm.
one Brooke. There's only one Sandra. We're gonna connect with other people who want to connect with us based on who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I never feel intimidated, or I never feel like other salon and business owners are competition. I don't gatekeep. I love to share. as an educator I do, because the reason why I am who I am today is because other artists didn't gatekeep and they shared. And I was able to pick and take pieces of all these amazing hair artists across the globe and become the artist I am today. I'm still learning. I'm still, developing who I am as an artist. So that's my answer for the whole gatekeeping or feeling intimidated. I'm confident with what I bring to the table. I'm confident with the person that I am. I know what I offer, and people will come to me knowing that. So that's my
I love
answer for
that.
that.
No, I love that. I love the collaboration over competition. I think it's so important, right? Like I even feel that in the social media industry, like there's so many people that do social media. I'm not going to say what I do because I think what I do is like different, but people work with me for me or the my like my business. And if that doesn't
Exactly.
align with you, then you're going to move on to the next. And I don't feel hurt by it because like I want to work with people that connect with me and I can connect with as well. So like it's kind of just that whole industry of like why are we like keeping to ourselves what we know when nobody's ever going to be us.
Totally. And that's just the nature of, I feel like that's a reason why I also opened the salon, because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the dynamic is a lot of gatekeeping, is a lot of like keeping things to yourself. And just I feel like everyone almost like wants to hold things back. But if you're great at what you do and you're already, established and well known, why?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just how I see it. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong, but
No,
like
I
I
like
said,
it.
I have a lot of friends who are entrepreneurs, who are business owners, and we somehow can sit at a table and have great conversation and just know that, hey, I'm there to support them in any way. They're there to support me in any way. I'm in a group chat where we will ask questions in terms of like technicalities of like what we need in a business, questions on certain things, and we're all answering each other's questions.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not stepping over boundaries or anyone's toes because we all know what we bring to the table. We all know what we offer. Everyone has a different character, a different style. People are going to gear towards what they're most comfortable with. So I
Mm-hmm.
have nothing to hide.
Yeah. And I think in like the hair industry as well, like it's an experience coming to you. It's not just a service, right? Like they're not
Right.
just coming to you and sitting down in a chair for 4 hours and not speaking to you. It's more so like you're having a conversation, like you're like telling your life to somebody. You're like chatting about things you probably wouldn't talk with a lot of people about because you just like are stuck in a chair. You're like, let me just spill my whole life to you.
Trauma
Um,
dumping. Ah, love that.
yeah. So it's like an experience, and you can't force an experience on somebody, right? Like you may not mesh with a certain client, or a client may not mesh with you, and that's completely okay because those 4 hours are valuable time to you as well. Like you want to enjoy it. You want somebody to
I
be sitting there.
100%. I always say I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm someone's cup of tequila.
You are. I love that. That's good.
That's just the nature of it. And I feel like the old generation of hair artists or just people in the beauty world have this like horse. What is it with the horse with the, what are they called? With those like
Blinders?
eye covered blinders, right? And
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's sharing now on social media, and we can't like being that way makes you look weird. Like, hello, I know where so and so got their outfit on Amazon. She sent me the
Yeah.
link, right? Like, hello, I know how she got that blonde. I saw her formula. Like, we don't do that no more. That's just
Yeah.
not, I don't think that's the generation anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy how it changes.
Very, very much so.
What advice would you give to somebody starting out in their beauty career in the hair industry?
I would share that they should just stay true to who they are. There's going to be obstacles, and I'm sure there's going to be situations where you feel like you just want to give up. And I've been there. I know what it feels like. But if it's something that you love and you're passionate about and you can really see the light at the end of the tunnel, just plug through. Those situations will make you resilient and they will mold you into an amazing artist. So my advice is just stay true to yourself and just hold the course.
I love that. And lastly, what's next for Hairluxe and Sandra?
Oh, so great question. So what's next is I want to be able to touch as many artists as I can. So becoming a global artist for me is really important, and bringing Hairluxe across the GTA and being able to reach more hair artists and more clients and be able to, make someone feel beautiful and special within the walls of Hairluxe and what we provide and the atmosphere that we offer and the experience that we offer is what's on the horizon. So stay
I love
tuned for
that.
what's to come because I will
Yeah.
go get her. I'm never content. There's more always up my sleeve. So that's what's next.
I love that. Okay, well, Sandra, thank you so much for joining me today and giving our listeners an insight into you as the owner of Hairluxe and just an individual yourself. I want to go back to our two truths and one lie. If you can just restate them, and then I will guess what it is.
Yeah, I slept in and I missed doing a bride and her bridal party. I made someone's hair turn green and I have an obsession with tomato juice.
Okay. I'm trying to think of like what I think the lie is. The tomato juice?
I love tomato juice.
Okay.
I was a kid that would bring the little V8 cans to school.
Oh my God. Okay, then the green hair. I feel like you wouldn't do that. You did somebody's
No.
hair green.
Yeah, someone's hair turned green in my chair. It was a color. I don't know, something happened with their color, and as I was like doing what I do, the hair turned mint green. So there was some kind of a chemical reaction,
Oh my
and we had
God.
to go and tackle it and figure out where we went wrong. But I made someone's hair turn green.
Oh my God. So you'd never miss a bride's
I've
hair.
never missed. I am the most responsible person. I have never missed a bride. I'm always on time. I get mad at people who are late.
Yes.
So I have never ever missed any of that, like a hair appointment, a bride, or nothing. Always on
I
time.
love that. I love that. That's amazing.
That was a
So
good one. I was thinking, I'm like, what am I gonna say?
it's always hard to think of the lie. You're like, how can I lie?
Well,
Come
that
up
was a
with
good one.
something.
I'm glad.
That
Well,
was
I
a good
threw in
one.
things where people would be like, really? She likes tomatoes? Oh, gross, but it's
Yeah,
okay. Maybe that's why
that is an
I have
interesting
I
one.
have glowy skin. It's all the potassium,
It's all the tomato juice.
all the tomato juice.
Okay, well, Sandra, thank you so much again for joining us. I'm so excited that you came on Socially Unapologetic, and we will chat to you soon.
Thank you, Brooke. It was a pleasure.